Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars, the Black Series, The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, from the mines of Mandalore. Let's get into it! Let's begin our exploration of the mines of Mandalore with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, you can see mine's a little bit damaged. I got it from GameStop. That's how it was on the shelf. But anyway, on the top, there's a hook. There's a sliver of a window there to let some light in from the top. On the front, Star Wars, the Black Series. And then a nice big window showcasing the figure and accessories. Star Wars, the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian, Mines of Mandalore. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4 and up, Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, main China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, nothing much to see except for a side view of the figure with a little sliver of a window there. And then there's a stripe going upwards at an angle that comes around the front, goes around to the back. Star Wars, the Black Series. On this side, some nice artwork of Mando, Din Djarin himself, the Mandalorian, Mines of Mandalore. Then on the back, we have Star Wars, the Black Series. Then we have that artwork again of Din, the Mandalorian, Mines of Mandalore. Reunited with Grogu, Din Djarin undertakes a new quest to reclaim a place in Mandalorian society as his scattered people unite to take a stand against the Imperial Remnant. Then there it is again in some other languages. He's number 37 in the Mandalorian series. Attention, especially don't stick this stuff that don't belong there in your French pie hole. Includes figure and 3 accessories. Warning, attention Octung, don't stick things that don't belong in any language pie hole. Don't give it to babies. Small fine, legalese, made China print, Disney print, Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, his vibro knife. Does look to have a nice silver paint app for the blade. And nice molded details. Here we have his blaster. And I want to say this is a new mold, but I could be wrong. But it does have a nice little, I'm going to say it's probably molded in this brown. And then it has a nice gunmetal paint app to it. And nice molded details. I think it looks pretty cool. And finally, we have the Darksaber with a different blade from Moff Gideon. You can see mine's got a little bit of paint blemish or chipping, rather, on it. Should be reasonably easy to fix. And then nice molded details on the hilt, and it does have a little hoop right here. And the blade does pop off. You can see it's got a nice peg on there with a little ring on it so that it holds in place once you get it on there. And then he does have a little loop or a hook on his belt for this loop to attach to. Well, let's take a look at the figure himself. And the best I can tell, this is an all new mold for this character. Unfortunately, I did check the backpack or the jetpack on the one that I have does not fit this version of the character. So I don't know, I may put some magnets in his back and on the pack and see where that leads me. But he does have some nice shiny paint apps. That silver. And they did put it around the back. Of course, he's got this old plastic cape. And my other den does have a cloth goods cape, but he's going to have to keep that one for the time being because of the jetpack. I was hoping that the jetpack would fit this one and this could be my display Mando, but alas, it was not so. Now, the helmet and head, it appears that they are molded as one piece. So, don't think you're going to pull the helmet off of this den, because he wants to get back into his Mando clan. The shoulder pads are that newish thing they've been doing, where it's a separate piece and it's got the strap that goes down and the arm pins through it, so that it doesn't really get in the way. It does bend out of the way, and it does rotate with the arm, so that's good. And then he's got some other silver paint apps here and there. He's got these bombs. He's got this, I guess it's a tampo right there. And then on this side as well. And then, you know, this piece right here, it's got some spots on it where it looks like it's been used pretty good. And then these pieces really stand out. And then some silver paint apps right here. And I have to say, overall, this is really, really nice looking Din Djarin. As far as his articulation goes, he can look up that high, and the base of the neck is on a ball, and then there's a short dumbbell in the neck and head. So, but he can look up that high. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, he can raise his arm up that high. It looks a little odd because of the shoulder pad. And now the arm doesn't want to go back down, of course, because I'm filming. It can do a full 360 degree rotation there. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow, swivels around 360 degrees. And gives you slightly better than 90 degrees worth of bend. 360 degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and then on this side he has an up and down hinge, and they're all working rather smoothly, I must say. And then right here, in here where the chest and the abdomen meet, there's a cut, and it's on a dumbbell or maybe a ball joint. And it gives him plenty of hula. He can lean left and right. He leans back that far. The armor gets in the way a little bit of the forward crunch, but he can't go that far. Now, because of this overlay, it makes it a little hard to get a full rotation out of that hinge, but you can get it. Just be really, really careful with it. Then at the hips, he gives you that much of the splits. He kicks forward slightly less than 90 degrees and back maybe about a half a step. And there is a cut here at the upper thigh for a full 360 degree rotation. Single hinge and swivel at the knee, swivels around 360 degrees and gives you approximately a 90 degree bend. And then I thought maybe he had a cut here at the mid-shin for a boot cut, but he does not. At the ankles, tilts down all the way, it looks like, and then up just slightly, and forward-facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as weapon storage goes, of course, his pistol, which he can also hold in his hand, does go in his holster, and it fits in there rather snugly once you get it in there, and it stays due to friction. The knife, or vibro blade, it kind of falls through his hands. It's not big enough for him to really hold it, really hold it. It'll kind of sit there in his hand like I just showed you. But there is a slight hole right here in the top of this boot, and it does slide down in there, and it stays, again, due to friction, so that's really good. And then if you don't want him holding the Darksaber, right here, you can hardly see it, is a little hook, and it hooks right on there, just like it did in the show. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay too well. So, there is that. And again, the blade just plugs right back into the hilt. And he can hold it. And that, my friends, is a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars The Black Series, The Mandalorian Din Djarin from the Mines of Mandalore, with one of the Target exclusive 2-packs of Din Djarin and Grogu from Star Wars The Black Series, and Star Wars The Black Series Bo-Katan Kryze. For our final set of comparisons, here we have Star Wars The Black Series, The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, Mines of Mandalore, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. Our final Black Series comparison, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on Star Wars The Black Series, The Mandalorian Din Djarin, The Mines of Mandalore figure, I have to say, this is a great looking Mandalorian figure. I do wish he had come with his jetpack. Would have made it I wouldn't have to buy any more Din Djarins. That's probably why he didn't come with a jetpack. I mean, he's got the spots for it, he just didn't come with it. I don't get it. Other than, he probably didn't use it much in the mines, that episode or two. So I still really would have preferred this to be like the final version of Din Djarin. He does come with his vibro blade. He can't hold it, however, so it would have been nice also for, an extra hand or an extra set of hands so that he could wield his knife, other than it just being a showpiece and, a piece count. But as far as everything else, okay. They need to stop with the plastic capes. They need to start doing wired cloth goods cape, soft goods cape. And, that and a jetpack and an extra hand to hold his knife with him made this the perfect Din Djarin Black Series figure. But I do like the paint apps on it. The colors are great. I do really like the colors on it. It doesn't have a removable helmet, but that's okay, because at this point in the show and in his life, or whatever you want to say, I don't think he's really going to be taking his helmet off in front of people anymore. But you never know. He might have to at one point. We'll just have to wait and see in the movie. Maybe that's when we'll get a Din Djarin with a jetpack. But that all being said, overall, I do like this figure. I do like the way it looks. I think it's a big improvement over the previous mold that they've reused and reused and reused for this figure. And so, you know, if you don't have this one, it's worth a look at least. I think it's really worth a pickup, even with, you know, not being able to hold the knife or having a jetpack. I may take a look and see if I can magnetize my other jetpack for use on both figures. I'll just have to take a really hard look at it and see if it's going to work for this one. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel out grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.